Chapter 3. After the rock musicians After the rock musicians left, the doors opened in the lobby. The bellhop stood in the doorway. Gavin! The Wilsons called out. The teenager's head was bent, and his bow tie was crooked. By his side, he held a bouquet of daffodils. Those are flowers, of course. You look down in the dumps, young man, said Walter. Come on in. Come on in. Gavin stepped into the little room. The doors slid closed, and Otis started upward. Winona, busy thumbtacking her sketches to the walls, paused to place her palm on Gavin's forehead. What's wrong, dear? She said. You don't have a fever. Gavin held out the daffodils. These are for you, Mrs. Wilson, he mumbled. I hope you like flowers. Winona dropped the bouquet into a glass on a small round table. They're beautiful, Gavin, she said. But wouldn't you rather give them to a girl you admire? Gavin sat down on the trunk. His bow tie bobbled up and down on his Adam's apple. That's the problem, Mrs. Wilson. Those flowers came from a girl I admire. Whitney set down her paperback. You mean the girl with the flower stall across the lobby, she asked. She waves to us whenever Otis is parked down there, said Winslow. Gavin's face turned the same red as his jacket. Sure, Kathy's her name. And I've bought so many flowers from her stall in the past week that my apartment is beginning to look as if I died or something. Young man, said Walter, I believe you have something that is commonly called a crush. A crush means like if you really like somebody a lot. Gavin blushed some more. Then, realizing he was blushing, he turned an even deeper red. So you like Kathy, but you're too shy to speak to her, said Winona. Is that why you keep buying flowers from her? Gavin nodded. A girl like Kathy would never want to go on a date with someone like me, that's for sure. I'm just a bellhop. I don't make much money. I'm saving up to go to college next year, but then I'll be even poorer. But you're an excellent bellhop, Gavin, said Winona. The best, said Walter. You're only going up in the world, young man. At that moment, the little room began to drop, and the teenager sighed. The doors reopened in the hotel lobby, and Kathy stood in her stall, snipping roses. She was a pretty girl with a long brown ponytail. That's hair that's bunched in the back of your head. The Wilsons waved to her, and she waved back. Gavin combed his fingers through his hair. It's hopeless, he said. I'll never get up enough nerve to talk to her. He stepped out of the little room, shaking his head. We'll discuss this more in the morning, young man, said Walter. Could we have breakfast served at 7? Gavin shrugged. Sure, he said. Then he slunk across the lobby without once looking toward the flower stall. At 5 o'clock that evening, Walter drummed his fingers on his belly. Let's call out for pizza, he said. We'll eat in Otis tonight. Pepperoni, Winona cried. Mushrooms, declared Whitney. Anchovies, said Winslow. Ich. Walter picked up the white telephone on the wall. I'll order an extra large with everything on it, he said. Hello, said a voice on the phone. It was Mrs. Quinn, the hotel receptionist. Evening, madam, said Walter. We would like to order a pizza. Sir, that's not a real telephone you're using, Mrs. Quinn said crossly, meaning not nice. Like that Russian guy in the swimming pool in Ashkelon. Remember him? Boy, was he obnoxious. A phony phone, said Walter. How can one tell a phony phone from a telephone? There followed mutters and muffled voices until Gavin's voice came on the line. Mr. Wilson, can I help you? Splendid, young man, said Walter. Connect us with the best pizza place you know. Sure, sir, said Gavin. In a matter of seconds, a man's voice on the phone said, "Hello, Peace Pizza Parlor." Well, they should have a Peace Pizza Parlor in Israel. Pizza slices at peaceful prices. Please deliver your largest pizza with the works on it, said Walter. We're staying at the San Francisco Hotel. What floor? Asked the pizza man. We're in the Otis room, so it depends on what time you show up, answered Walter. Floor 11, perhaps 15. We've been on floor 20 a lot lately. A half hour later, the doors of the little room opened in the lobby. A boy wearing a green baseball cap and a t-shirt with a peace sign on the front stood at the reception desk. He held a pizza box on his palm like a waiter. Mrs. Quinn scowled as she pointed to the Wilsons, who are in the elevator. The boy jogged over to Otis. He placed the pizza on the little table, looking around. You know, I've delivered pizzas to picnic grounds, hospital rooms, fire stations, and battleships in the bay, he said. But this is a first. Walter handed the boy a $20 bill. Only the best for our family, he said. Nothing less will do. Keep the change. Soon the aromas, which means the smells, the fragrances, of cheese, olives, anchovies, mushrooms, sausage, yeah, that's not kosher, and tomatoes. You can make kosher sausage, actually. Filled the little room. Walter wiggled his fingers and said, age before beauty, I'll take the first slice. That's what I would say, because I'm the oldest in this family. Ladies before gentlemen, called Winona. Could be Naomi or Gatit. The first piece should be mine. Children first, cried the twins, and they all dove for the pizza at the same time. That would be Binyamin, Amos, and Yotam. While the ceiling played a bouncy Beatles tune, the Wilsons munched their pizza. Soon only one slice remained. I've invented a game to see who gets the last piece of pizza, said Winona. She pointed to the numbers, the row of numbers above the sliding doors, from 1 till 34. As Otis journeyed up and down, a number would light up to show what floor the little room was on. Otis is now stopped on the 16th floor, Winona went on. Whoever can guess the next floor it will stop at gets the last slice. I say floor 19. What happened to floor 13? Asked Winslow. Walter snapped his suspenders again. Many hotels consider it bad luck to have a 13th floor, he explained. But I feel lucky right now and think we'll start going down. Our next stop will be the 12th floor. Floor 24, guessed Winslow. That's Mr. Brown's floor, and it's time for him to go out to dinner. We'll stop at the top floor, Whitney predicted, number 34. The Wilsons waited in silence. Soon, the little room headed upward. Walter waved sadly to the pizza slice. Goodbye, my beauty, he said. One by one, the numbers above the door blinked on and off. 17, 18, 19, 20. Winona snapped her fingers. I lose, she said. Oh, no. If she said 19 and it stopped at 20, she still, or even 21, she still would win because she would be closer than anybody else. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I'm out, said Winslow. Ah, he's not right either. If it stopped at 26, he still would be the closest. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Go, 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 shouted Whitney. 31, 32, 33, 34, and the door slid open. Whitney grinned. Well, she said, I guess that last piece of peace pizza is mine, and triumphantly, which means to show that she won. She leaned forward to grab it. On the 34th floor stood a woman with white hair. She wore a white tracksuit and white running shoes and held a small white poodle. Our dog, Danny, is part poodle, maybe large part poodle, but he's a black poodle. As she stepped into the little room, her diamond earrings flashed in the overhead light. The woman smiled at the Wilsons and pressed the L button. My, wee wee, she whispered to her dog. I heard there's a shortage of hotel rooms in this city, but I had no idea the problem was this bad. Walter lowered his newspaper. Greetings, madam, he said. Welcome to Otis, our humble vacation home. My, repeated the woman. You're on vacation? Are you comfortable in here? It has its ups, said Whitney, and downs, said Winslow. We are the Wilson family, said Winona. I'm Abigail Goldengate, said the woman. She rubbed the dog behind the ears. And this little fella is Wee Wee.